Hello, welcome to another Deck Tech with Johnholio. I'm going to be doing one of my favorite decks right now today. Call it Tempo. It's a Bant flavored tempo deck, mid-rangey, but you really want to, it's tempo. It's like kind of between aggro and mid-range. It's like you want to be hitting them early and keep the pressure on the whole game is the idea. So here's the deck. Start off with 3 of Essence Flux. Use this almost like our counterspell, since most of our things we care about are creatures. This allows us to make it lets the creature dodge things like removal, while also reactivating their ETB effects, which I think every creature we have has other than Jace here. So that's Essence Flux, 3 of. Jace Vryn's Prodigy. He baits early removal, / helps us smooth out our draws, / can let us do some broken stuff if he flips and we do his -3 ability. Yep. Pretty sweet. 3 of Elvish Visionaries. 1/1 draw card. I mean, that is like basic value central right there. You can't really go wrong here. Early, gums up the board early. You can chump block and replaces itself the second it gets played. Combine it with some flicker effects to completely negate some damage in the earlier turns while maintaining card advantage. We have 2 of Long Road Home. So I've had a version of this deck like every season, and this card has been in and out. And honestly, I think the last 2 seasons I cut white completely from the deck, but white is back, and I think this is the strongest version of the deck I've made ever. So, Long Road Home, it's another flicker effect, but it delays the flicker to where it doesn't come right back. It comes back at the end of the turn. So can survive, can help your guys survive something like a board wipe, like a Languish or anything like that. The creature also comes back with a +1 counter, can be relevant when the opponent has a bunch of like 2/3s, things like that. So the other relevant thing about this card is it works on opponent's stuff. So for example, an enemy transforms an Ormondal. Well, this works on Ormondal. He'll come back as a land at the end of their turn. That sort of stuff. So yeah, it's a little bit more flexible than like Essence Flux. Costs a little more. Disperse, kind of like Long Road Home. Like it works on opponent's stuff as well as ours, but it also works on permanents, like pesky enchantments and planeswalkers and things like that. So if we're having trouble with an enemy planeswalker, it's sitting there pumping up every turn and it's threatening an ultimate, well, this will help us get a reset on that. All right, and then we've got 1 copy of Nissa. ETB effect, gets a land, so I mean, a lot of times I'm fine just playing her just for the just to bait some removal as well as get the land. So but when she flips, we get that card advantage from her. Her +1 is great, and occasionally the -2 is relevant as well. 1 of Rex Sage in the deck. It is a necessary evil. Does have an ETB effect, can be flickered for great value, but if I could cut this guy, I probably would, but I mean, this is Magic Duels meta. We have to have at least one way to deal with problem artifact and or enchantments. So Rex Sage. Do you have a way to tutor him out later in the game with like our Woodland Bellower? Also have ways to bring him out of the graveyard. So I mean, if there's any kind of threat, I would usually just kind of play him and play him early, let him go in the graveyard, who cares, we'll bring him back one way or another. And we got 2 of Spell Queller. This is such a good tempo card. These 2 are both just, in fact, all 3 of these cards in a row here are all 3 just quintessential tempo type cards, right? Turn 2, you get a threat down. Turn 3, you're holding up your mana. You know, the opponent plays their 3-drop, such as Talia. And yeah, this thing just munches down, you know, keeps the creature under it, swing for safekeeping, and then lets you swing in for an additional 2 points on the next turn. That's Tempo City. This card is just great. And we do have a way to permanently exile things that the Spell Queller munches down on. And so here's what you do. You need 5 mana, including, you know, 2 whites. Because the opponent casts the spell that the Spell Queller wants to eat. You cast Spell Queller. As soon as Spell Queller enters the battlefield, and before the ability resolves of exiling the spell, you cast Long Road Home on Spell Queller. So it leaves the battlefield before the spell is exiled. And then, basically there's then no way for that instance of Spell Queller to leave the battlefield and bring that spell back. So it essentially exiles the spell for all time. Trust me, it works, and that's how it's supposed to work. And it definitely comes in handy sometimes. Reflector Mage, another just perfect tempo play. Bounce the opponent's creature so you can get in, and then they can't even play it the next turn, or ones with that same name. Perfect tempo card. Great for flicker effects. Kills tokens, which is very relevant this day and age. And then we've got the Bounding Krasis, another flash guy. The perfect play for this is to have the opponent attacking with their 2-drop or whatever on turn 3. It's usually like a 2/2 or 2/3. You flash in Krasis on defense, and it's like a surprise beefy blocker that just eats them. And then you get to swing in with 3 with no defense on the next turn for the opponent. Like, it's usually he usually ends up blowing people out. Like, this guy is super good. 2 of Pilgrim's Eye. This one's kind of like a necessary evil in the deck. We need the mana fixing. We don't need, but we want Delirium, and this helps us get Delirium with 2 types on one card. We do have only 1 Delirium thing, which is Ishkana in the deck, but it is relevant. Because that's one of the, we're a little short on aerial defense, and so we kind of need Ishkana. Plus, she's great for flickering. Got an excellent ETB effect. So then we have 3 of Displace. This card is busted. It's just broken. It lets you, let's say the opponent tries to do like a murder on one of your guys. Well, you displace that guy plus another one, and suddenly it's like a 4-for-1. At least that's what it feels like almost every time. It's super good. You'll see. There's also like an infinite combo involving Displace, Tamiyo, and the Green Warden in the deck. But that's like just a bonus thing. It's not really what our main focus is. We've got 2 of Pulse of Marasa. Helps us, kind of like a reset button. Helps us undo some damage we did not want to happen. If we committed a creature without protection too early. Helps us get whatever guy in our graveyard that we need in the situation. So in that sense, it's kind of like a tutor. It also gains us life, all relevant abilities. This is just a sweet card. Also, combo's great with the Green Warden of the same namesake. We've got 1 of Tamiyo. She can help keep our opponent's blockers down so we can finish them off, or just help us with card advantage. And then sometimes, if we play her on turn 4, a lot of times we can get to a Tamiyo ult, which, like I just mentioned, gives us an infinite combo in the deck. Get an emblem with may cast cards without paying their mana costs. Yeah, you can see how that might be broken. Then we have a Verder's Gearhulk with one of the strongest ETB effects available for offense. So this guy's kind of like a finisher for the deck. Also, artifact and creature helps us with Delirium for Ishkana. Relevant. Speaking of Ishkana, enters battlefield, creates 3 spiders. So if you can flicker that a few times and gum the board up with spiders, that helps you get there. This one is just great at when you're playing against an opponent that forces the long game. Ishkana can really help out there. Cannot activate her activated ability, but that's pretty irrelevant. A lot of times we'll use the spiders to help transform the Westvale Abbey. 3 of Cloud Blazer. This card is just Value City. Ideally, we play it holding up like an Essence Flex or something, so we can get immediate extra value from it. But yeah, 2/2 flyer, the flying 2/2. Sometimes we'll get some chip damage in, but we love the ETB effect on this guy. Just great. Honestly, sometimes I have to tone down the number of times I flicker this thing because it gets a little out of hand. You run into a danger of milling yourself. Right, then we've got the Green Warden. Helps us, it's like a reset button, helps us get any one of these cards, any one at all, out of our graveyard. And then with Displace, and with Green Warden on the battlefield with another Flicker creature, you basically just displace Green Warden plus whoever, and then you just get back Displace immediately, and you can just keep doing it. And that's where, if you have the, spells don't cost mana emblem, that's where it gets infinite right there. And Woodland Bellower, another just great ETB effect, lets us tutor up either Krasis, Rexage, or Nissa, or an elf. So we can get a good number of things with it. And flickering him is also very sweet. And one just final whoops reset button in Commit to Memory. Also, two card types on this one, helps us with Delirium. Yeah, just kind of an answer for anything, a temporary answer, but an answer. And in a tempo deck, temporary answers is usually all you really need. We've got our mana base, 23 lands total. We curve out pretty high here. Could run 24, except that we're running, Pilgrim's Eyes and Nissas and lots, So like we have ways to fetch lands. So I feel like 23 is like a good high number that's not too much. So we have mostly, more blue spells, but we end up running more forests because most of our early game creatures that we care about are green first. Our Elvish Visionary being most important. And our Mana Fixer doesn't care what color. So having tested this deck thoroughly, this is the mana base that seems to work best. 2 plains, 4 islands, 5 forest. Then we have some dualies here in 2 of Canopy Vista, 2 of Prairie Stream, a single Westvale Abbey. We don't use the token making ability with this guy, but we do transform for a Westvale relatively frequently because we end up with a lot of small dorks. And we can also get it out of our graveyard with our Pulse, so 1 of seems to work because our mana base is so intensive. Then we have 2 of Hinterland Harbor and 2 of Glacial Fortress and 2 of Sunpetal Grove to help round out the dual package, and then 1 of Rogue's Passage, because like I said, we can't really afford too many colorless in the deck. And this can really help us in some problem situations where we can't deal with like an enemy planeswalker or something like that. And just helps in board stalls. And, you might trade that in for an extra Westvale or trade Westvale, maybe both of these for an Ether Hub. I mean, there's a lot of small things you could do to change it up, but I feel like this is like the perfect list for the current and ongoing duels meta, since we're not getting any more expansions. So that's the deck. Let's get into some games. The deck is called Tempo because, yeah, it's a tempo deck and we are hoes. I feel like the opponents, that get owned by this deck just really hate us because essentially you're getting beat down by a bunch of 1/1s and 2/3s. It just feels bad. Hilariously bad. And I like playing this deck. It's like it feels fun because nothing feels better in Magic than drawing cards and winning. And this deck has that in spades. And like flicker effects feel so good. Like when you save them for the right, it's like this deck does take a good pilot to actually win more. You really got to hold off on those key flicker spells. Use them in response to stuff. Don't just fire them off too early. So we have a level 40 Homeless Jace opponent. So this should be a good game. All our mana's looking slightly whack, and we don't have any. Let's get a new hand. This is a keep. It's not the best opener, but it's slightly better than our first hand, so I'm glad I had mullied there. Lead off with a sun pedal. If this is like an aggro matchup, that's one of our better matchups typically. We have life gain and, you know, blowout blockers and things like that. And most of our dudes are like power and toughness over the threshold for something like, say, magma sprays and whatchamacallits. Not dual shot, but, you know, twin bolt, I think, is the one we have in duels. Okay, so he's on that aggro red first strike, double strike, whatever deck. So I am expecting him to attempt to enchant one of these things. So like this is where Long Road Home might be relevant. First, we're gonna give him a Bounding Krasis blowout block. I do believe most opponents, you know, take one look at at me passing the turn with this mana base and assume counterspell. So the worst of these guys is this wolf, so deals 2 damage. So yeah, like at least he let us block first, right? I was expecting that to not work great. And we don't have any other early action, so we might just get wrecked here. Oh, okay. So we're not just gonna get wrecked, but almost. Can negate a whole turn of damage with this pulse. If he tries to enchant something, we've got the road home. Okay, so, I mean, he knows about it, but this time we have, like, other things to do as well. So let's do those other things. Like, he already knows about the Krasis, so I'll probably flicker in the Krasis to tap a guy down. And that'll ensure that we save some damage. Oh, God. Well, at least we know, so he's gonna go for the minus, I guess? That seems kind of whack. Like, there's no way he wants to minus against my 3/3. I'll have to kill all of his creatures. Seems crazy. Literally, it doesn't activate its ability. Okay. And we'll just let that turn pass here. I'd rather have another land before I play Green Warden so I can do broken stuff. I mean, who doesn't like broken stuff, right? Oh, what? I don't. I I don't know. I can't imagine why somebody would play Chandra and then not activate her at all, and then not defend her. Like apparently that was just a throwaway card for him. This is exactly what I'm talking about. I was expecting an enchantment eventually there, and there it was. Okay, so he's gonna let me just kill Chandra, which is nice. This is turning out to be an interesting game. was looking pretty bad there for a moment. Let's get that guy out of our way. Like he's already coming back with a +1 counter. Might as well just like do it again, right? So I can kill this Chandra. The opponent's like out of cards here. I'm just gonna play this Pilgrim's Eye. We'll take some damage this turn, but it's not gonna be lethal, so I'm cool with this. Why is my graveyard flashing? Oh, he's back. So opponent can get in here for 4 or 5. Oh shit, that thing has double strike now. Is that lethal? It's 1 short of lethal unless he has a burn spell. 1 short of lethal. Yeah, that's game. Nicely played. Act of treason, rip me. Okay, so apparently, that was like a misplay there, right? Like I could have, instead of playing the Pilgrim's Eye, which I knew wouldn't be able to block, I could have held up the Displace, which would have enabled me to avoid getting Act of Treasoned. I still wouldn't have been able to block there, but then the opponent would only be dealing 9 instead of 12 here. We'd get another turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I mean, we're probably dead anyway, but could have played a little different. This is a good game, though. Let's see if we can get a rematch. Tempo! Yeah, we needed more of our tempo cards to not lose that game. You know, we needed like a Reflector Mage, another Krasis, maybe even a Spell Queller would have been the best thing. That could have like eaten one of those creatures as well as been attacking Chandra easily. I don't know. It's a good game though. Damn, girl. The Panarchy. I don't know what that is. A Panarchy. Sounds like a thing. Yeah, that's fine. Ideal draw here would be like an Elvish Visionary, so I can have a 2-drop or a Jace. But yeah, 2 3-drops, not ideal, but we'll, you know, we'll be okay, I think. Another red deck. Spicy. So gonna fetch a blue with the Pilgrim's Eye. Mono red, non-aggro. So far, so good for us. You know what's a gnarly play or a gnarly turn 5 attacker is a Pilgrim's Eye with 4+1/+1 counters on it. All right, looks like they're going to be on the the Artificer deck. There's a few different versions of this, but I have an idea of what cards to expect now. So here we've got the Krasis and the Flux. And Aura Commit. What the hell is this thing? Trample? Okay. Not a hasty guy. So 1 for you, and then we need 1, 2 for you, and just 1 for you. And now everything is nice and big. Must have like a lightning axe or some way to deal with my Gear Hulk here. If I find a mana, then I can play Cloud Blazer and have an Essence Flux held up. Like that is like living the dream right there. Because you know this red deck is going to try and point something at it, right? I mean, I can't just take that. What do you think this is? Yeah, I am totally fine with that. Just get in a free 7. It's a 1-turn clock. And then, you know, if he plays a creature, we won't care. If he tries to play some removal, we'll just do the thing, right? Like, I think we got this one in the bag. Bounce it to my hand. I mean, I literally can play it right now, so I'm fine with that. Let's just stick with the plan. Opponent obviously has nothing going on. Yeah, we had all the answers there. GG. Cool, let's get another one. Happy 2018, everybody. First stream of the new year. I don't know about where y'all live, but it is a beautiful day here in northern Colorado. Got 6 inches of snow on my balcony. It's a beautiful sunny day. Like 10 degrees or whatever. Oh! Jade's getting excited about that. Jade. How you feeling, sweetie? What are you getting all excited about? Nope. That's a hard keep. We have to keep that. Unfortunately, we're on the play here, but we have 2 turns to find a land. Maybe we'll draw into an Elvish Visionary. It's another so it's like we have a 50% chance each turn to basically draw something we need, between the 3 Visionaries and the 23 lands. It's almost 50% chance that we'll find something we need, so I feel pretty good about those odds. And I mean by like turn 3. At least according to my brain, those are the soft odds. There we go. So we got to play this one now in order to play a 3-drop. Nissa will get us our 4th land if we don't just find it off the top. Doesn't this guy have flash? Like, hey, isn't that how that works? Whatever. So we don't need the land this turn, so we gonna reflect this guy. So cannot play another copy until their following turn after this one. So that might shut this guy down a little bit, because they're running 4 of those. What are we up against anyway? Level 1 Standard Art, 1097. I don't know what that name means, but I like it. This guy, yeah, makes energy with lands. Okay. Ooh, yeah. We are just getting there. And we don't care if any of our guys die. We got the pulse, so we'll just go ahead and put Nissa out there. Just put her out there. I guess there's no point to attack into that. We'll just chill. Maybe he would have let it in because I do have an untapped green. But it's too late now. The bluff may have worked. Could have gotten in for a free 2 points. Certainly could make an argument for that. Huh, okay, so 2, 2, 3s, okay. New Horizons, or wait, what is this one called? Unbridled Growth. Probably go for a Wreck and a Visionary this turn. Let's play our Visionary first, see what we find. This land allow us to, well, we don't have Essence Flux yet, so never mind on that. If I top deck an Essence Flux here, I will be super happy. Either way, we got 2 Blazers, so we're going to blaze it next turn, probably no matter what. Opponent loves these trample rhinos. Two, 3, 4. Please don't have a pump spell. Thank you. Yeah, we got the pulse. I'd rather just trade there. Blaze it. This might find us in Essence Flux. Draws 2 cards, gives us 2 life. Look at that. I mean, living the dream. And we got our Westvale, so I mean, it's going to be Ormondal 30 here pretty soon. We just go and chill. So we're gonna flip Nissa this turn. We get a free blocker. Well, I say free. If this guy, if he activates the, oh, it's not a trample rhino. It just looks like it should have trample. Oh, so I will be able to block all that. That's nice. So, blaze it? Let's blaze it. So, that 3 damage is still blocked, even though we're not actually there anymore. We found some sweet cards off the top for next turn. Looking good. Okay, opponent. First keyword on this guy is actually important. Flash. Play this spell at any time. You silly goose. Don't want to show him the Westvale yet. So we'll just jam this Hinterland Harbor and flip our Nissa. I wasn't going to attack there anyway, so this is fine. Now the question is card advantage or 4/4. I think our first step should be 4/4 because of this rhino dude. Right, and then what do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lands. So 1, 2, I could, let's play the Visionary and then hold up a Spell Queller. And yeah, let's blaze it. Let me spam my chat with my deck lists. I don't have all of them posted right now, and in fact, I'm not even sure if I have this one, this newer tweaked version of this tempo deck online, but there's a few of my older versions. I'll post it here soon enough, and when I upload this to YouTube, there will be a link to it for sure. But there you go, guys. So that's a perfect target for a Spell Queller. Pump spells are perfect because, you know, if they do manage to kill your Queller later, like, the timing of the pump spell is the most important thing. And so it's really hard for them to then get the timing right again on that future time. So very nice thing to use a Spell Queller on. Also, if you guys are enjoying this, I'm going to try and keep doing these deck tech videos pretty regularly until I run out of decks, which is going to be quite some time. And when I'm not doing that, I do a daily Magic stream. Soon, hopefully, it'll be Magic Arena when I'm able, you know, I have the closed beta right now for that, but it's under NDA, so I'm not allowed to stream it just yet. But yeah, I'm actually very close to being able to be a Twitch affiliate here if I just get a few more followers. So if you're liking this, please hit that follow button. If you're on YouTube, that's twitchtv.com/Johnholio. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do here? Still not gonna Westphal just yet. Let's bring a friend. Tap down this guy that loves to block. Like, I'm reaching a critical mass of dorks that I don't, you know, it's like, I'm looking for a bunch of dorks to sack to the Westphal. Right now I've got, you know, 4. But I think I have enough mana to even play this other Krasis, so I think next turn we'll probably bust out the Westphal, the Ormondal, that is, flip side. No big deal. A lot of times I wouldn't like to go right in on that versus a blue deck, because blue runs things like bounce spells, which just, if you bounce an Ormondal, that's just a blowout. You just got a 5-for-1 out of that bounce, you know. Because I had to sack 5 of my creatures to do it. All right, so first things first. Who do we find? Perfect. Doesn't get much dorkier than that. Oh yeah, my bad. The game, of course, decided my Westvale Abbey was the most appropriate land to tap there, not one of these 10 forests. That's a miss. That's a duels no-no. Like, I really should have not played so fast there. So now I have to wait another turn in order to do the thing. That's okay. Opponent looks like they have had enough, but, like, you know, they're too stubborn to concede, but, but I feel like they've lost the will to live. I can relate. I almost never hit the concede button unless I really am not having fun against an opponent. It definitely happens sometimes, but oh, excuse me. I hate it when opponents do this. It's like they're staring down a million, you know, lethal 10 times over, and they're just sitting there racking their brain like, how do I lose the least? Just crying themselves to sleep. Oh, confiscation coup! What are you gonna confiscate? See, now that would have just, I would have cried. Like, if he just did that to my Ormondal, I would have cried. So he gets a free pump spell out of the deal here. That's fine. No trample, so I mean, we'll just jump block the crap out of that. So I mean, this opponent just gave us a reason not to flip Ormondal, right? They're still showing the 1 green. They could easily have a fog effect. They might have another thing like a confiscation coup for next turn or something. Like, I'm not really about that life. So we're just gonna not flip old Ormy. It's too risky. Too risky against a blue deck. As much as I love old Ormy. Oh, look who's back. A bigger spell queller. Rogi Passage. So here's the deal, right? We win here, because even if the opponent has that fog, I'm gonna Spell Queller it. So that should be GG. Opponent does not have it. Good game. $63 grand. Really wish I could gift gold to viewers. Like, I literally can't spend this gold on it. Like, I haven't foiled every card I own, but it's only because it's kind of a pain in the ass. Like, the only good way to foil cards is to make a deck and then click like foil all. But you can't just foil your collection. I guess they never expected you to have enough gold for that. So you have to go in and individually foil cards if they're not just in a deck. And like, I'm not gonna sit here and just make deck after deck, you know, just to foil all my cards. I don't know. Maybe I will one day. Like, what the hell? But so far, I haven't been motivated enough to do that, especially with Magic Arena on the horizon. Not just on the horizon, like I literally have it, but Magic Arena streaming on the horizon. When you see this guy, you typically are going up against Rakdos vampires. Or just a guy who likes vampires and then plays whatever the hell he feels like. But you know, if you're playing the numbers game, good money is on. Oh, look at his name though. It could just be his favorite picture. All right, so we've only got green in our opener. That's kind of whack. We're gonna try again. Missing green, which is unfortunate, but we do have a Reflector Mage and an Essence Flex, so this one's a keep. We already mulled once. We've got 4 lands and 2 of our colors, so it's okay. Reflector Mage, one of the better tempo type cards, so yeah, happy to have him in my opener and be able to play him. So already bucking the trend with white in the deck. White as a vampire color was introduced in Ixalan. I don't know about introduced, but really solidified in Ixalan, which we don't have in the game. As soon as Magic Arena comes out, you will not foil your cards anymore. Well, probably not. We'll see how, we'll see how the, Sorry, I'm getting distracted by this Liliana. We'll see how the monetary, system works out in that game. This game is literally, as far as free-to-play games go, like this is the most forgiving, I guess you might say, business model I've ever seen, We're just gonna pass the turn back here. Like, I was able to get this game, I got it like about a year ago now, I think around Thanksgiving time is when I got my Xbox a year ago. It's like last November, a year and 2 months or whatever. And the game had already been out for a while. It was like Oath of the Gatewatch season, I want to say. But I was able to earn coins, right away, fast enough to build a very competitive deck and start earning coins nice and fast. And yeah, I've never spent a dime on this game of actual money. The only thing is you hit the daily coin cap relatively fast. But I mean, if you just played like an hour a day, or maybe not even an hour a day, but 30. If your goal was to play like one game a day and try and complete a quest, like you would earn freaking gold pretty quick. So opponent's not playing any creatures, which means Reflector Mage not going to get the value I want. Surely you're not going to waste removal on something that Liliana can just... Okay. Well, I was going to Essence Flux this thing when Liliana targeted it, but... Oh no, is the game broken? Yeah, I just lagged out or something. Maybe his game crashed. Oh, that sucks. Need another white. No, there's another white in my hand. Nissa fetches a green though. Let's get a blue. Well, that's unfortunate. I imagine the opponent's game just crashed. There's no way they just rage quit there. Kalitas. I hate Kalitas. So this is one of those situations where I've just been ignoring Liliana this whole time, and it's because I have a Disperse in my hand, right? Like, you know, I'm not going to be able to swing in and damage her because Reflector Mage's power is going to be 0 after the -2. Well, I could, because I can, you know, hopefully the opponent plays a creature and we can Essence Flux it. No, it doesn't. So we're just gonna get rid of Liliana then. Not doing anything else, so. Might as well turn that murder into a I get a land spell. If he murders it again, oh well. Doesn't look like it. Kalitas, okay. Gonna just bounce that again, and we'll flip Nissa here, so looking good. So first you bounce, then you swing, then you flip. Right? Otherwise we'd be missing out on 2 points of free damage here. And this is not a lose out on 2 points of free damage stream. Just saying. Ooh, yeah, that'll be great next turn. So we have 3 cards on board. None of them die to Liliana. I have lots of stuff I want to pitch to Jace here, so hopefully he sticks around. Has the mana for like a another removal spell now, but not much I can do about that other than look for a flicker effect. Not there. How about maybe in here? There's one. Beautiful. 1, 2. Okay, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which means I can blaze it first. Oh, baby. Opponent could have a Blessed Alliance here, so let's go ahead and swing with our 0-2. Huh? Huh? Kalitas? No. Okay. Not worth it to just displace yet, I think. I say not worth it. It's always worth it, but you know. Founding Crisis works here just fine. Another combo here is I could use Crisis to activate Jace's ability twice in a turn to flip him faster. But I don't think it was relevant in that case. See what we get off the top. Pilgrim's Eye, okay. Let's go ahead and play our Westvale here. As well as... I want to tap green. This thing, there you go. That's good enough. And again, could have a Blessed Alliance, so might as well just play around it. Okay, at this point, I'm saying they don't have one. Okay, so you could say I mistimed that Jace thing there. It's just at this point I don't really care too much. I could have waited to tap him until I'm probably odds are I'm going to play one of these spells this turn, so that would have been a 4th card already in the graveyard, and then tapping him would have made it as a 5th. But I'm fine with this. Either way, like, it would have flipped on their turn, so I wouldn't have gotten to activate him, so it's like, it doesn't really matter either way, I think, in the end. How are we gonna do this? Let's see here. I think this guy deserves a long road home. And then I think we're gonna blaze it, right? Who doesn't like blazing it? Yeah, we don't care about that either. Though, now instead of blazing it, I think we just go Reflecto crazy, or Let's blaze it. How can you not blaze it? Toss. Get out of here. We hate you. Ooh, and another freaking displace? Oh, man. Yeah, we'll hold on to this one. Oh, look who's back. I almost forgot about this guy. Sure. Only one basic left in the deck. Do we have Delirium? Only 2 card types. See, like, yeah, we don't. Another displace, no big deal. This is another situation where going for Ormondal I feel like would just be greedy. We could easily get blown out by, you know, he's playing Mardu. Like, white has a lot of answers for Ormondal. I might as well just gum up the board with the one blocker for the air. That's fine. Everything else is Trick City here. Double displace turn is what it's looking like. Literally nothing I can do about that. It's fine. That would have worked on our Ormondal, right? So that's, and that would have been a blowout. We would be down to one creature. So very happy I did not go for that. Plus none of my sweet displaces would work. You know, against certain opponents in certain colors, you just go for it immediately. But yeah, not with what I've seen so far from this opponent. All right, well, that is gonna do it. Let's just get in there. No fog effects in Mardu. So that's gonna do it for today's video. This will be up on youtube.com/c/Johnholio if you want to check it out later there. Or if you're watching on the YouTube, check out my live videos on Twitch, twitchtv.com/Johnholio. Really appreciate y'all checking out the stream. Catch you guys on the next one. Probably gonna stream some PUBG a little bit later today, so if you're interested in that and you get a notification, that's probably what I'll be doing. But yeah, thanks again. Have a good one. Peace out. Happy New Year again.